Hey, what's up everyone? This is Jim LaBuda here once again. And today we are going to take a look at the golf swing of Alex Cejka. Now, Alex is playing on the Champions Tour. He picked up his third Champions Tour major yesterday at the Senior Open Championship, defeating Padraig Harrington in a playoff. Now, Alex uses the stack and tilt golf swing. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of aspects of this swing, but obviously it worked for Alex this past week. Let's go ahead and take a look at his golf swing. I've got a circle here that's going to be around his head. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But the other thing that you want to really point out here, he's got a little bit more weight on the lead side, and that's one of the reasons, or that's one of the things you do in the stack and tilt, is you set up with a little bit more weight on your front foot. So you make solid contact with the golf ball and you swing more from in to out. As you start taking the golf club away, the one thing you're going to notice here is that his right leg here is actually going to start to straighten, and his left leg, the knee bends a little bit more. The other thing that happens here is his left shoulder right here, that starts to turn down. And what that does is, by turning that shoulder down instead of moving it in, that keeps his head very, very still. Now, I'm not a huge fan of straightening the right leg and increasing the knee flex in the left and things like that. I don't think that gives you a proper weight transfer in the golf swing. Here's the other thing it's going to do. As we start looking in his downswing now, as he moves forward in the downswing, you're really going to see his hips start to shift. So he does transfer his weight. There is some sort of a weight transfer there. You can see the head moving through that circle. So his head's definitely starting to move. But now what happens is as he gets to an impact position, you can see it from this point. If I put a line over his ankle, knee, and hip, you can see how far that knee and that hip have gotten forward. So it's almost like he's sliding more through the golf ball through impact, a move I really, really don't like. This puts a lot of pressure here on the outside of this knee, puts a lot of pressure on that hip. And as he gets older, I hope Alex isn't really going to have any injuries from this. The other thing is, as he gets into impact here, we're going to notice that both arms at this point are very straight. A lot of times here, what we see is we see a little bit of bend in that right arm, and the extension doesn't happen until well after impact, and that's where a lot of power comes in. But as you can see how far he's moved forward here, again, majority of the weight is on this left, the outside of that left foot, which really tells me that he's sliding forward. Again, this move worked, this swing, the stack and tilt, it's been around for a long time. It worked for Alex Cejka this past week, but it's not something that I would recommend a lot of players doing, just because, again, it puts a lot of undue stress and pressure on the lower body here. I mean, you can see where he was at setup. That line is on the edge of his left foot, and as he starts moving, look how far that foot turns, look how far his body goes forward, and then he rotates completely through impact. Again, Alex has had a much better Champions Tour career than he did in a PGA Tour career. He picked up his third major victory. We may be seeing more from him, but stack and tilt has its benefits for some people. But again, for me as a golf coach, not a huge fan of this swing methodology.